Yeah, thank you very much. Let me begin by thanking Mark and the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy for arranging this event and for being part of the, rather upholding the noble cause of Kashmiris. And as we've just seen a documentary as to how Indian forces are violating international law, human rights of Kashmiri people. So thank you very much, Mark, for taking this initiative, which we greatly appreciate, because this is a cause which is not restricted to Pakistan or to the Muslim world. This is a cause which all of us as human beings should try to contribute as much as we can. Now, whenever I discuss or speak about the struggle for self-determination of the people of Kashmir, I always remember the words of Winston Churchill, who once said that the soul of freedom is deathless. It will not and cannot perish. Now, Kashmiris have been struggling for their right to self-determination for over 6 decades now, and their movement has seen ups and downs. But it goes without saying that the enormous resilience which Kashmiris have shown during the last 60 years or so, that perhaps cannot be replicated or cannot be seen in any other part of the world. Kashmiris are up against a country which is a country of more than 1.3 billion population people. India is a kind of rising economy, it's a big country, and most of the world have their interests, commercial interests, political interests vis-a-vis India. Pakistan also has its own commercial interests vis-a-vis India. And unfortunately, and I would like to just highlight 2-3 points which I think are important and necessary to underscore. It is somewhat unfortunate that the world as a whole has forgotten about Kashmir and forgotten about their legitimate struggle. It was not Pakistan, it was not Kashmiris who took the matter to the UN Security Council back in 1948. It was India itself which took the matter to the United Nations, and then, as was said earlier, in January 1948, UN Security Council adopted a resolution which committed to the people of Kashmir that both India and Pakistan would hold a plebiscite or a referendum to determine whether Kashmiris would like to join Pakistan or would like to join India. So that was the commitment given by both Pakistan and India to the international community and to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. But what happened since then, we all know about that. Since 1948, Pakistan has been, despite very, very heavy odds, we are trying to create an international opinion in favor of Kashmiris. Pakistan is ready to fulfill its commitment given to the international community and given to the people of Kashmir. But it is India which, for its own reasons, has reneged from its commitment. Now, this is the story of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. In their legitimate, genuine struggle, they have lost over 100,000 people. 100,000 people. The total population of Kashmiris is not more than 14 or 15 million people. So imagine the struggle which is going on now for decades. People losing their lives, their livelihoods. Human rights organizations like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, or other well-known organizations, human rights organizations, they are not allowed to go to Jammu and Kashmir or Indian-held Kashmir. If they are allowed for some reason, all their activities are fully monitored and they are escorted throughout their visit to Indian Valley, Jammu and Kashmir Valley. So this is a cause, this is a problem which is going on for over 6 decades now. And India, unfortunately, in its, I would say, hubris or arrogance, is not listening neither to Pakistan nor to the international community. It doesn't pay heed to UN Security Council resolutions. So now we have a problem at our hands. How to really resolve that issue? Our newly elected Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who met his Indian counterpart in New York last month, this issue was raised by him, emphasizing that unless and until the Jammu and Kashmir issue is resolved, there is simply no possibility of having a viable peace and stability in South Asia. Now, if you look at the South Asian region, you would find that it is one of the poorest regions in the world. And the only reason one can really ascribe to this wretched poverty in our part of the world is this continuing conflict between Pakistan and India. Now, Pakistan, as compared to India, is a smaller country. Though in our own right we are still big with 200 million people, but as compared to India, we are a smaller country. It is not in our interest to have this festering wound of Jammu and Kashmir to continue like this, because Pakistan would like to move ahead. We have other issues as well, which like the problem in Afghanistan. So Pakistan is a country which we very much like to move ahead, normalize its relations with India, and our Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, when he met Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, he once again emphasized the importance of resolving this issue in accordance with the relevant UN resolutions. Pakistan is not trying to dictate its terms. What we are saying is to resolve this issue according to UN resolutions, to which India is also committed. That is the best part of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute, that it is not really a dispute created artificially by Pakistan or by the people of Pakistan or by the people of Jammu and Kashmir. It is a dispute to which there are 3 parties, Pakistan, India, and the people of Jammu and Kashmir. And luckily, India at some stage in our history agreed to hold a referendum to determine the aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So from that perspective, I think it is incumbent upon the international community, especially countries like USA, countries like Germany, France, UK, who hold enormous sway. They have enormous clout, regional clout, global clout. I think it is incumbent upon these countries to sometimes at least transcend or look beyond their political and commercial interests. Come down to the level of the people and see how the people of Kashmiris are suffering day in and day out. So it is important for the Western world particularly to use their influence over India and try to persuade them that the time has come that both Pakistan and India sit together and work out a tenable solution to this problem in accordance with the wishes of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Because at the end of the day, we cannot, neither Pakistan nor India can dictate its terms as to what should Kashmiris do. They are the brave people, they are the people who have fought, struggled for their freedom for the last 63, 64 years. So you cannot dictate them. There are frameworks already available, and it is important that those available formulas should provide the framework within which this problem can be resolved. Mention was made of different draconian acts in the Jammu and Kashmir, like Public Safety Act or Armed Forces Special Powers Act or Disturbed Areas Act. All these draconian laws are there in Kashmir for decades now. But we have been saying so, and perhaps I do not know how many more years we will continue saying this. Both Pakistan and India are a nuclear power. Obviously, both our countries cannot afford to have any conflict, any war in the region, because any conflict in a nuclear environment, you would know better than I do how catastrophic that can be. So the only solution to Kashmir is through negotiations. And we genuinely hope that when next time Pakistani and Indian negotiators sit across the table, they will come with a brief or with clear mandate to resolve this issue. Because for years, India, because of its arrogance, because of the fact it's a big power, has been procrastinating or delaying talks on this issue. So the time for that has now gone. I think the people of Kashmiris also realize that East Timor got its independence. You look South Sudan, they got their independence. So in the world today, it is only the people of Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, who are still waiting to get their freedom. So I think it is important for all of us, for people around the world, to think seriously as to how these 14 million Kashmiris should also get their independence, should also have the freedom to live their lives according to their own wishes. They should have the freedom to learn their own language. They should have the freedom to flourish or nurture their own culture. So they have been, under this captivity for so long. So it is now, this should come to an end. So with these remarks, I once again thank Mark, you particularly, and the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy for arranging this. And I hope that whatever little contribution we can make through these events, it is always good. Even if one person who was not aware of what Kashmir is all about, if this evening he or she knows about it, I think we have succeeded, and you have succeeded in your effort. So thank you very much once again, and I hope that you will continue taking such initiatives in future, which are not only restricted to human rights, but I think it's also an integral part of your own mandate, that is cultural diplomacy. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for hearing me. Thank you very much.
The ambassador has kindly offered, if there are questions, this would also be an opportunity for also Mr. Gottlieb. This is a way we can continue the dialogue. So I would encourage you, please, if you would like to pose a question, do so. And I'd also like to just return the gratitude you were extending to me. I'll extend back to you because I think really it's crucial. Also, as a part of cultural diplomacy, raise awareness on these issues, get discussions going, get dialogue going. If you'd like, I'm happy to also broadcast this evening. We're recording it, so if you want via the social media, Twitter, YouTube, etc., I think really we definitely do need to raise awareness on issues such as this, get discussions going. And again, as Embassy International was saying, there, of course, the idea here is not necessarily taking sides, pointing the finger, etc., but to assist people who are suffering and to somehow come up with constructive solutions. And I think that's a very important part of the mandate of cultural diplomacy. So from my side, if you would like, I'm happy to continue to broadcast this any way we can. But please, this is a chance for your voices also to be heard if there are questions or brief comments. Observations, reflections. It's all yours. We're here in a neutral space where really everyone should feel comfortable and everyone should feel respected, and we would be very happy to hear any voices, please. And if you could briefly introduce yourself as well, that'll allow us to get to know you.
Yeah, I'm the General Secretary of Kashmir Forum and Chief Executive of Asian People's News Agency. My name is Shakil Chaftai. The question is that what Pakistan has done in the European community, because from decades we are proceeding USA and Britain for this thing, because Britain has left this problem and so many other problems. But as I have heard yesterday that USA is only talking the language of India. So they were talking with our Prime Minister about Bombay accident. They were talking about this organization, Saeed Ahmed Aldo or Saeed, Muhammad Saeed, Hafiz Saeed. They were talking about these things, and they were talking about Dr. Faridi, that Dr. Faridi will be released. So we should now do something with the European community. I think European community is a strong platform, and I hope that Pakistan will consider more than everything, that European community will come on our side, and maybe the Jammu and Kashmir, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, one day they have their right of self-determination. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think afterwards in the reception, in case anyone would like to get more information about your organization, I'm sure you'd be happy to also inform. So please feel free to approach him. Other comments, observations, questions? Please.
Probably a bit of observation. Basically, I'm Manzoor Nafshari. I come from Kashmir. Since we're talking about culture and human rights, recently in Kashmir, there has been a concert which was organized by German embassy, Zubin Mehta. The whole Kashmir was put under curfew. None of the Kashmiris was allowed to go to that concert. Kashmiris were against the holding of that concert in Kashmir, but still it was organized under the auspices of German embassy. So I'm putting out this question, is it really a political move from Germany to ignore or to just show to the world that there is no problem in Kashmir? What's your opinion on that? Is it really worth to organize that function as Zubin? A function in a place where the people are under curfew, people are being massacred, and then we talk about we are taking the culture to that place. And secondly, on the very same day, 4 people were murdered in Shupayan, a village just 40 kilometers away from Kashmir, away from Srinagar, where this concert was being organized. So on one side, the blood was flowing, and on the other side, music was played. What is that? What is your opinion about it? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think you're underlining there also the role that civil society can play sometimes in raising awareness about issues and trying to present both sides. So it's also maybe an encouragement for us to see what is our responsibility as well as citizens, whether it's Amnesty International or Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, what impact we can have. But I think certainly there is a need. Any other comments or observations or questions? Please, okay. Ladies first.
I'm Hina. And it's just a complimentary question where we can find the link for the documentary that was just shown.
Could somebody from the embassy maybe respond to this? Or in case individuals would like to get access to this film, is it available on the internet or? Yes.
Well, it's not available on the internet, but if you give me your email address, I can forward it to you.
And again, if you would like ICD to assist to make it available, I'm happy to do that as well. So it's really up to the embassy. In that case, definitely stay in touch with the ICD as well. I don't know copyright and this and that, but if there is a way, I'm happy, of course, to assist in helping to give access to this kind of information. But otherwise, definitely I'd encourage you to make contact with the embassy as well. There was another hand over here. Okay, yes, okay.
I have a question. Not quite sure if I can field it, but I'm an advocate of in this case and all cases, of self-determination of peoples, and that's why I find it quite interesting in, I'd be interested to know how the 2008 election results were interpreted when a coalition of pro-Indian parties managed to win the elections in the Kashmir and Jammu region, despite the obvious political problems in Kashmir with the demonstrations. So I'm wondering, how is that interpreted in Pakistan, those election results?
And I don't know, Your Excellency, if you want to field that or if there's someone from the... Yeah.
Who asked that question? Interesting question. Now, Pakistan's position has always been very clear that these elections are not a substitute for a plebiscite there. And if you see the pattern of elections held in Jammu and Kashmir, how many people really participate in those elections? Sometimes it is 1%, sometimes it is 5% population. So they are not representative elections in the first instance. But for the argument's sake, if there is more participation, let's say beyond 50%, even then, those elections cannot be a substitute for a plebiscite, which was committed by India to the world community and to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So that continues to be Pakistan's position. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Comments, questions, observations, or contributions to the discussion? If not, of course, we do have the chance informally afterwards to continue the dialogue. Yes, okay.
Maybe I give the answer to your question about elections in Kashmir. If you see how the elections are conducted in Kashmir, you'll be surprised to see what election that is. It is mostly, I have been a presiding officer in one of the, I was asked to stay at home or in my office, and they will do it themselves. And I couldn't do anything. As a presiding officer, I had to sign some papers, that was it. The election, votes, and everything was done by the government and the police and the army. So this is the type of election we have in Kashmir, in Jammu and Kashmir.